Hey there, I'm Roger Herring with Investors Accounting, and I am the Investors Accountant, and welcome to this week's segment of Ask Roger. This week's question is this a capital gain or is this ordinary income? Where'd it come from? Well, I was approached a couple of weeks ago at an event that I was speaking at by a guy, and he says that he was told, and I quote, "As long as I intended to rent the property, even if I wind up selling it, it's going to be a capital gain." Not necessarily. Okay? Intent goes a long way, but that is not the only thing that the IRS, and for that matter, the tax court is looking at in one of these situations. Here's the thing. The question that needs to be asked is, does this activity rise to being the level of a business? So intent is important. But here's the second thing. What's the frequency? How often do you do this? Do you do this once every 2 or 3 years, or do you do it 3 or 4 times a year? Okay. How much is the cost of the rehab? Guys, we know what a rental property looks like after you rehab it, and we know what a flip property looks like when you rehab it. And guess what? So does the IRS. And the IRS knows that the more money you put in, the more likely your actual intent was to flip the property, not hold it. Okay? Are you in a closely related profession? Okay, so let's say you're a realtor and you decide that you're going to sell a couple of properties and take a capital gain. Well, guess what? This rises to the level of the business because you're in a closely related profession. Are you claiming expenses for the business? Now, here's a key. If you were just doing this casually, you wouldn't have a whole lot of overhead. If you've got a whole lot of overhead, it looks like you're in a flipping business. Everything comes to, does this rise, this activity, to the level of a business? And then, when all else is said and done, they have a thing. It's called substance over form. In layman's terms, you can tell me your story all day long. You can put your story in a chicken soup. You can teach your story to peck. But if it quacks, it's a duck. Even if you listed the property for rent, if ultimately you sold it, and because of the frequency, the cost of the rehab, closely related profession, or one of the other 20 things the tax court called out, if those things are present, hey, you did a flip. Okay? That's it for this week's Ask Roger. I'd love to hear your comments. You can inbox me. But until the next time, Roger out.